What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Geeks Around. My name is De'Aaron Jackson. I'm your executive producer. It is season finale time for season 4 of Game of Thrones. We're going to be talking all about the finale of The Children. This is a really strong episode. I'm really excited to start talking about it and some other aspects of things going on. More about that later, a little bit later on. But for the time being, let's go ahead and introduce the rest of the panel. First off, lead host and producer Matt Moore. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. I really enjoyed this episode. It was not what I was expecting, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Todd, what did you think of this thing?
Hello, everybody. It was excellent. I'm actually Charles Whedon. And I'm drinking alcohol and high on drugs because that's what Charles Whedon, does.
If you're Charles Whedon, you'd have like a My Little Pony poster on the back wall right there. We all know this.
You don't want to know where my pony is.
Charles Whedon, why does your lower third say Todd Grundle?
Yeah. Technical difficulties.
Fair enough. Isaiah, what did you think of this episode?
Oh my god, it was pretty much my favorite season final for this season. Because last season final was kind of weak. It was still good, it was very weak. But here it ended on a good, strong note. Good cliff notes and just so much. It felt like it was Pulp Fiction, but badass.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good to go. Let's just go ahead and kick this thing off. It's like we start off this episode seeing the aftermath of last week's episode, The Watcher on the Walls, when Jon decided all on his own. It's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going to go out there and kill Mance Rider because, yeah, that's the plan.
Right.
Yeah, which of course was a very stupid plan.
Right.
It was, though. Yeah, he's got, well, I mean, we killed a bunch of his men, so he's only got, like, what, about 95,000 left or so. It's like, I mean, yeah, ain't no thing. I'm just going to go over there, sneak past all of them, and kill him, and, yeah, everything will be copacetic at that point. That's a good plan. We're going to go with it.
It was badass, though. It really was badass from Jon Snow. Like, yeah, that's badass.
It was a stupid fucking plan.
I know it was, but hey, he still looked badass. It was a nice cape.
And that's just it. Is something that was admitted in this episode. Is dude admitted that Jon Snow probably could have pulled that shit off if he was okay with dying in the process.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be about the only way it would have worked out.
Yeah. I was so tired of main characters dying off left and right. Like, please don't let Jon Snow die. Please don't. He's a screw up, but he's a cool screw up.
How is he a screw-up? He's the opposite of a screw-up.
Maybe so, but you never know. He could screw up down the road.
I'm going to slap you someday, Isaiah. We're going to have a Geeks of the Round con one day. Like, 2019, we're going to have a con here in Reno. It's just going to be Geeks of the Round. We're going to invite you as a special guest speaker. And on the fucking stage, I'm just going to slap you upside the head as hard as I possibly fucking can.
Or better yet, it's like, I mean, come on, Matt. It's like, I mean, you're not very business-minded right now. What you do is you sell tickets for other people to come and slap Isaiah. You know, charge about, I don't know, somewhere between $3 and $5 a pop. They come up in there and they got 15 seconds to slap Isaiah as many times as they can in that 15 seconds.
You'd be rich men already, like, yeah.
Yeah, we would. It's like, I think that with the proceeds of that, I'd be able to buy, like, I don't know, Ireland.
You could be the king of Ireland.
Oh god!
It'd be a fuck ton of money. If any of you viewers out there would want to slap Isaiah, I will send you the PO box to send the money order.
You know what? We need to start a fucking Kickstarter.
I muted so you can say my exact words the same. That means it's a genius idea.
or we start like a fucking or we create a fucking like Patreon page or some shit like that, and have it like, once we hit a certain level, once we're at, I don't know, like $100 an episode, it's like the first 5 minutes of the show will be just fucking slapping Isaiah about like a little bitch. That'd be great.
Oh, I actually enjoy that too, because I'd be famous too.
What, you're a little freak, aren't you? It's like that's what I need to know.
Hey, you never know.
You just made me even less inclined than ever to watch your and Charles's dynamic duo reviews. I don't think I want to know what y'all be reviewing.
no. My thought is that like Kickstarter, we can have levels. Like once we hit, because we need to fucking have enough money to actually get out there. So we're gonna need enough money for the flight, hotel room, all that shit. So figure at $1,000, we can slap them upside the head at half speed. Like $1,500 three-quarter speed, $2,000 full speed. And then anyone who donates a certain amount of money, like more than $50, we'll actually do a slow-mo video where you actually see the
And if you donate $15,000, I will inscribe an arrow with your name and shoot it into Isaiah's knee.
Oh man, so much.
He used to be an adventurer.
See? Exactly.
But taking an arrow to the knee.
Right, I became a famous man for taking an arrow to the knee.
All right, so while we sitting here bullshitting, our community manager Knuckles Goldberg joined in the mix. What did you think overall of this episode, Knuckles? Like we were just honestly starting on the actual TV discussions. We ain't mixing this much.
I love the episode. I just wanted to chime in. If we don't reach our financial goal to go bitch slap Isaiah, then we'll just hire someone on Craigslist with what we do raise.
Well, no, that won't be difficult. That will not be difficult because Charles Whedon only lives 2 hours away from him, and from what I understand, he'll do it for pretty inexpensive.
He'll do it for free.
We'll pay for gas and buy him a soda, and he's good to go.
Oh God.
All right, so we have John going up and having this meeting with the King beyond the wall, and at first it's like, I mean, given the intention that was laid out by Jon Snow, in last week's episode, the discussion was so far pretty amicable until they were very rudely interrupted by a massive fucking force of people.
Well, before we can say, he was actually making negotiations with Jon Snow.
He wasn't fucking negotiating.
Yes, he was. He said, like, let my people go through the tunnel, and we'll be done. Let's go with that.
Well, it wasn't really negotiation. I mean, negotiation is kind of like, kind of a balancing act, give and take and whatnot. This was more, okay, you let us do what we want, and we promise to not kill all of you. That's not really a negotiation.
That's just it. And that's just the thing is Jon Snow, negotiations are both ways. Right. Jon Snow was not fucking negotiating. He was basically looking at all his options. He was fucking wasting time figuring out his best way of killing this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or die trying, really.
Or die trying. And that's just it, is this guy actually made a very compelling argument. Like, if I was Jon Snow, I'd be thinking, maybe I shouldn't be killing this motherfucker.
Yeah. Maybe better leverage.
Yeah, but still, it's like, I mean, there was pretty much this was kind of a no-win situation for Jon Snow. It's like, unless he actually achieved his goal of killing Mance, because I mean, let's say he's like, okay, yeah, you and all, fucking 100,000 of your wildlings can come over the wall and live beneath the walls. Like, I mean, that's really not a good thing.
Well,
I mean, you've got all of these separate warring tribes up there that are pretty much unified solely by Mance Rayder. All of a sudden, living in actual full Westeros and being involved in this civilization. It's not like they're just going to all conform and be like, oh, we're here now. I guess we better just do things their way. No, fuck that.
Right.
No. I see it like Voyager. Like Voyager. That's the right one, right? The one with fucking Janeway.
Voyager.
That one. Okay, I need to have it right. Is what they should have done is they should have been like, you know what? Yes, you can come on this side of the wall. Actually, no, you can go to the top of the wall and fucking be the new Night's Watch.
Right.
And they totally would have done that because playing by the rules is what wildlings do.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Not so much.
I'm just saying that they could have been like, you know what? Like, we have this big threat that's coming up on us that's going to kill every last motherfucker unless there's someone on this wall to defend it.
Right.
So if you really want to protect yourself and protect others, the best way to do that is by working with us.
But that's the problem. They don't give a flying fuck about protecting others. They give a fuck about protecting their own, and they don't really need the Night's Watch to do that.
Right.
But no, they don't need the Night's Watch to do that, but they do need that wall to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So what? So I get so damn. It's like, yeah, they totally need the Night's Watch to come and take over one of the 5 castles that are completely unmanned along the wall. They totally need the Night's Watch for that.
I'm just saying that if they want to protect against these zombie-like things, their best bet is that fucking wall.
Yeah.
It might be the wall, but that doesn't include the Night's Watch. So it's like that would have been a bad plan from the get-go.
Or anyone else.
It's like, okay, yeah, you know what? We do need the wall. You know what? This Castle Black is a nice place. There are like about 500 of y'all here? That's cool. We have 4 times that. All of y'all get the fuck out.
No, it's okay. Matt's Raider would just call Top Bunk.
I don't know. In this particular case, because I was thinking about this earlier, they could fucking fill up those fucking castles, protect them, and if they don't fuck with the Night's Watch, they're not fucking with the rest of Westeros. If they do kill the Night's Watch, then all the fucking rest of Westeros is going to be like, oh shit, and come and kill their asses.
Westeros doesn't give a flying fuck.
Where do 100,000 wildlings and cannibals go?
Well, it's like, I mean, it's like according to Matt's theory here, is like, I mean, they would be, you know, along all the other castles along the wall that aren't being used right now, of which I think we both can agree are a lot of them. The part that I'm disagreeing with is getting any of them to actually would be getting any of the wildlings to go along with this.
I agree with that. I think they would kill everyone up Castle Black.
Mm-hmm.
And then march south to the nearest town and kill them until they find some place they like.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, the only thing unifying them right now is like, I mean, because it's not like the wildlings aren't just, you know, just like, you know, these huge number of very peaceful people who all get along and whatnot. No, this is a bunch of warring tribes that Mance has got together, has unified for a single goal, mainly. We're on this side of the wall. We all want to be on that side of the wall. Let's all do that. That is the only reason that there is any kind of unification in this group right now. The second that goal is accomplished, this little unification thing of all these warring tribes that have been at battle for the past 1,000 years, oh, that's over. That's done. That's a thing of the past. Mission accomplished, and we're now all out doing our own things. Like, these are not one people.
Right. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's like they barely give a fuck about each other, let alone anyone else that's up to the wall.
You know, I don't know, though. Now that I think about it, at first I completely agreed with your point, but now I'm thinking it's almost like walking into the snake's pit. I mean, yeah, there are 100,000 going up against 100, but when they're inside, they're probably up against a whole lot more from all ends, no?
And they've been ransacking villages, killing people, eating babies now for the past couple of months, and no one in Westeros, except for the Night's Watch, is giving a fuck.
Right.
Well, yeah, war tactic, but I just think maybe once they were in, I think it would be they'd be dead if they tried to do anything. No, because look at this, what happens next. I mean, that pretty much neutralized shit. So
did any of them tickly mind dying?
Every single kingdom except possibly the North, which of course would be the first one they encounter. But every single other kingdom would have the people to take them out.
Right.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
Like, sure, if they prepared for it and knew that they were coming, okay. But that's 100,000 troops compared to we don't even know how many.
Well. Right.
Well, we saw that fucking that one kingdom had enough to take them out. Like,
but those weren't his men.
It wasn't?
No, who were they then?
It's like we guys remember. It's like now we're getting a little bit ahead, but that's all good. But it's like at this point in the show, Stannis Baratheon comes down and completely overpowers the wildlings. But those men that he had, it's like those were all mercenaries, brothers without banners and all that shit. It's like if you guys remember a couple episodes back, it's like he was being talked to about getting these mercenaries and whatnot. And that's the whole reason they went to the Iron Bank in the first place, was to get the money to fund these men.
Right, but then they also came up on Mance's party kind of unaware. So it's not like they encountered 100,000 people strong and just took them out. They just went straight for where the king was.
Yeah.
It was really badass, too. Very smart.
Yeah, yeah, it actually was pretty badass though. It's like you had one massive group riding in on horseback on one side, and another massive group riding in on horseback on the other side. It's like, I mean, that was pretty about it.
Yeah, when I saw Stannis, like, oh shit, that's badass, son. You're the real king, kinda.
How did they know? I assume the wife is the one who like told them where to go. But that was asked of me when I was watching it. My girlfriend says, how did they know to come and do, and to fight?
I was actually wondering the exact same thing, man. I don't have an answer for you.
I do. It's not really spoilers because it happened in the books like way before this part.
Okay, go with it.
You know how Davos was learning to read earlier on in the season?
Oh yeah.
So one of the letters that he reads in the books is from the Night's Watch asking for help against whites and the undead and stuff.
Oh.
Oh, see, that would have been helpful if they, showed that in the show.
Yeah, I guess they didn't do it in the show because I tried to look
They
for
did
it.
do it, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I must have missed it.
Yeah, it was Stannis' daughter and him making out a letter.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So yeah.
It just happened so damn long ago that I forgot.
Oh yeah. God. But yeah.
Okay, it's like, all right, now that makes sense to me.
I remember that.
But anyways, like, I mean, they came in about it, and very, very quickly, Mance gave up. And completely surrendered this fight.
He was forced.
And it was kind of cool for me seeing Jon Snow and Stannis Baratheon kind of meeting and having these meetings of the minds, because in some ways they are. In certain ways, each of them in their own way, mind you, before I even say this, but they're two of the last honorable people that are in charge of things on the show.
I don't know that you can say Stannis Baratheon is an honorable person. I mean, he's kind of fucking witch in his
I prefaced it and everything. I said it in his own way. Jesus, cut me some slack. In his own way, he has a code of honor. It's like it might not be a code of honor that even I would agree with, but in his own way, he considers himself honorable.
Well, he's way more honorable than Lannisters and the Boltons. Like, yeah, compared to those guys, he's pretty much a saint.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm talking in Westeros here. It's like, I mean, if we're including like the entire world, obviously, and I have to include Daenerys in this because she is very honorable in her own right. But as far as the world of Westeros is concerned, it's like, I mean, these two are kind of about it.
Yeah. Westeros is a place where Jaime is somewhat honorable. So, yeah.
He's not in charge of anything.
Yeah, he's not in charge of anything.
Except the King's Guard.
Ooh.
Even the King's Guard isn't. They have no power. Their job is to protect the king.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, I can get a Doberman Shepherd to do that.
Or not protect the king.
Yeah, like.
And seriously, in what world, in what reality, are you going to have someone who goes by the nickname, who goes by the title, the Kingslayer? How are you going to have him as the fucking head of the King's Watch?
Yeah, what it makes perfect sense to me.
It's
like,
different when it's your son.
Well, yes, your son and your nephew at the same time.
Right. Inbred children.
Yeah, I guess that does make one a little bit more loyal, but it's like I do understand the inherent irony. It's like, yeah, we need someone to protect the life of the king and ensure that no harm comes to him. Kingslayer! That's the man for the job.
Hey, it's either him or the Hound, and the Hound is pretty much not that trustful.
Oh, y'all know the Hound is like, fuck the king.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's it.
You know what? I don't know that he would say that if he knew Tommen was the king. I think he specifically had a hard-on hatred for Joffrey.
Well, at that point, it's like, I think it's more like, okay, well, fuck the Lannisters then, because
Right.
Yeah.
seriously, fuck them.
They ain't do nothing.
Sideways.
I got burned for them.
Mm-hmm. It's like, that's that bullshit. And it's like, and I also like in this scene, it's like, I mean, they did the big, burning of the bodies thing, but
I love that scene.
it's like due to some encouragement from Mance, John decided to take Egret back north over the wall and to kind of do a private ceremony there, kind of a personal way of saying goodbye. And I
That-
did really like to see that.
That wasn't Manta. That was Lord of Bones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever it was. You know how white people look like.
Irish guy. How about that? It's just an Irish guy.
Yeah. The ginger.
Yeah.
Exactly. Charles Whedon. Former life.
Charles Whedon, you rang? Charles, I'm just over here shooting up heroin.
God, he's not in these conversations.
I'm sorry, Charles Whedon. You don't do heroin. You just do lots and lots of pot.
Yes. And just zone out and fapping at little ponies.
All right, we like toads too.
Well, it's like the way I got to figure, since we're already above the wall talking about this John ceremony with Egret, we might as well go a little bit further up than that and discuss. Finally, Bronn Stark. Last time we saw him, I think was what, like season 4, was like episode 4 or 5,
Yeah.
some shit like that.
Yeah, I was actually a little surprised to see him. I was just like, whoa, wait, who are these people again? What's going on? Something about a raven?
Right. Are we still on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Basically, that's why when fucking Jojen got killed by the fucking walking zombie skeleton thing, it's like I really didn't give a shit. As a matter of fact, I kind of thought it was funny because you had the skeleton just like lying next to him, just going, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm killing it. I'm killing the shit out of it. Fucking die.
It was so in slow motion. Like, are you serious, dude? You could have moved out the way. Like, oh, he's moving. Oh, okay. I should really. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stay here. Dude, it's moving slow motion.
Those were stab.
Like, oh, I mean, stab. Well, you could have moved, dude. I know, but it's more dramatic.
Yeah, but it was pretty good. It's like, I mean, because fucking Mirror was holding her own.
Yeah, it was very
It's like,
scary.
I was expecting her to die too, but it's like she honestly held her own.
Yeah, those skeletons were actually scary too. Like, good lord.
And may I just say that Bran should not have been able to fight that well in Hodar's body,
Right.
because Bran was how old when he was disabled? He was a young motherfucker, which means he did not learn to fight like that.
Actually, if you think back to season 1, though, Matt, yes, actually he did.
Yeah.
He wasn't all expert in it like Jon Snow was, but yeah, he did learn how to fight.
Yeah, I was just gonna say not to that degree though. At least I wouldn't think so.
So it was still cool though. It was really cool how you controlled Hodor and just open a can, whoop ass on skeletons. Like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Listen, if I've
Like,
learned
I just wish I would have been like, Hodor!
if I've learned anything from watching anime and Power Rangers, that when you take control of a giant body or mechanical thing, like you just instantly can fight very well with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the laws of physics right there.
Yeah, it's like he was accessing Hodor's memories, and Hodor was a ninja master before whatever happened to make him his hair.
I was gonna say that explains Evangelion.
Yeah, he was like a Shaolin monk or some shit.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was a nice battle too with the
It's like
skeletons.
Hodor Fu.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, it was a good fight, and then it's like, all right, it's like I have not read far into the book series to even know who the hell this is. Like, we got this little half naked fucking kid wearing what looked like a bunch of moss and some leaves.
Yeah, he's fucking throwing fireballs.
No, she's throwing fireballs. She's throwing fireballs. Yeah, it was a she.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, the actress name is Octavia Selena Alexandria. Okay, yeah, that's a girl.
She's
Okay.
throwing fireballs. Like, is this Dragon Ball Z? What the
Well,
world?
it's one of the first children.
Yeah, the first children.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
What's that?
They've mentioned it a few times.
You guys remember Golden Axe for Sega?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminded me of those little douchebags who would steal all your shit when you sleep at your camp at night.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
I forgot about that shit. You have to go and kick the shit out of them and make them give that shit back.
Right. They were riding the dinosaurs and eating them. Burn. Anyways.
All right, so it's like, well, anyways, like this whole thing happened because they finally found the heart tree or whatever. Then there was a cave underneath that, and they met this old fucking dude who told them. He was like, yeah, Bron. Yeah, Bron is like, can I? It's like, he's telling him, it's like, we get back with what he lost. It's like, oh, I'll be able to walk. It's like, no, you will never walk again, but you will fly.
It doesn't help,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
whatever, dude.
I like to walk, then fly, motherfucker.
It's like I don't know. I'm just gonna be I'm gonna be period point blank on this one, y'all. The whole Braun storyline at this point kind of bores me. I don't
Yeah,
fucking care.
I don't care.
It's like I mean, maybe eventually, as this gets further and whatnot, I'll put it like this. As I said, we haven't seen Braun Stark and his little motley crew since like about episode 4 or 5.
Right.
I completely forgot about them.
I didn't really
Forgot
care
they were a
because
thing.
yeah,
Now-
yeah, go ahead.
That was something I was thinking of during this episode. Is what is his goal? I mean, his goal is what? Self fucking discovery.
Yeah, it's like it's not helping no one, dude.
His goal was to find the three-eyed raven. So no,
And why? How does that help anyone?
No.
because some crippled kid came and said he should go seek him out.
Well, I'm sure that helps everybody in the fucking show. It accomplishes some goal. They should tell us what that fucking goal is.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing about
Nobody
that.
doesn't give a fuck about what this kid does.
As far as I'm concerned, he might as well have been on a hunt for fucking Santa Claus. All right.
Right.
But I'm serious, man. It's like I don't understand what this is about.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing, and the show's not giving me reason to care. I don't fucking care. It's like, I mean, I feel like we're following him simply because he is a Stark.
Yeah.
And it's
pretty
like,
much.
and I get that, but it's like that's not enough of a reason for me to have a vested interest in what happened to this character. If in this episode, like, during the fight scene with the skeletons, all of them would have spontaneously caught on fire and died, I would not care.
Right. Pretty much. I mean, his story was so.
Well, that sucks.
It was interesting, but it wasn't all that interesting to me. It was like it made Daenerys' story look more interesting. Like, yeah, her story's more interesting than yours.
Well,
dude.
Daenerys' story is legitimately interesting. It's like this one is not. It's like we're on a quest for the three-eyed raven.
Why?
Right? We're still on the quest for the three-eyed raven, and now there's opposition on our quest. Oh, that opposition is gone, and now we're going to continue our quest for the three-eyed raven. And here we are with the three-eyed raven. Yay!
And it's not a bird, and he doesn't have 3 eyes.
Yeah,
He's just the oldest man ever.
yeah, he's just an
He's a
old,
tree.
like, skinny Dumbledore-looking motherfucker.
Right. He reminds me of that. He reminds me of that,
Anorexic Dumbledore. That's what I'm calling him for right now. From here on in.
he reminds me of that fucking
Anorexic
tree
Dumbledore.
in Fallout 3. I forgot what they call it in that Fallout 3, but he's like the talking tree. He reminds me of that.
Yeah, except not a tree.
I know, but
I don't remember a talking tree in Fallout 3.
I do.
Okay.
I forgot his name, but
Yeah, so did I. but yeah, there was one. But that's neither here nor there. It's like the point is, like, it's like I'm gonna put a question out there for you viewers. Like, go ahead and throw it in the comments when y'all get this. It's like, well, I want to know what y'all thought, like, just like from the beginning of Bron Stark's whole quest to find this three-eyed raven. It's like, is there something that we're missing, or do you agree with us that it's like y'all could really honestly do without this? Let me know.
yeah, because they had visions. It's like, what's the visions for? They didn't really explain it at all. Like, okay, you have visions, you see a dragon at King's Landing. Okay, what's the big deal? I'm confused.
Just real quick, we have a question. Knuckles Goldberg asks, how about an invite?
Well, we'll have to see about that, Knuckles. Depends on whether you've been a good little boy this year.
Can I say about that? Can I say about that that my whole wild speculation is based on that one question, and that's all.
How about an invite?
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you where I want the invite to. I can assure you it's really wild.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, it's like we brought up Daenerys a while back. Might as well get into that. It's like there's not a lot to say on this one because it wasn't really that long of a scene.
It's heartbreaking though.
Yeah, but yeah, we have situations here over there where all the slaves aren't quite ready for this whole freedom, this whole newfangled freedom thing that
Right. Because they like
that Queen
purpose.
Daenerys be about.
Massa was real good to me.
Yeah. Master was good to me. We got some watermelon. We got some grape soda.
What the fuck accent was that?
I don't know, sir. I don't know.
That sounded like a cross between a Caribbean and Forrest Gump.
No, it's like a cross between a Caribbean and like Mammy.
No, no, it's a cross from Isaiah and Isaiah.
All right, so we've now taken care of the racist portion of this episode.
Did we?
Yes.
Did we?
Well, friend.
Brought to you by Riding Horse Publishing.
Nice plug. But it's like,
So, but yeah, it was kind of a little sad because we find out that some of the slaves still want to be slaves.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of liked her answer to that with the 1 year limit.
Yeah.
And then someone spoke out and said, "Oh, that's a bad idea. Like they're going to be enslaved and everything but name." I don't know. I think that's fucking. In the real world, that's called having a job.
yeah, that's an employment contract.
Yeah.
Talking about like this.
Job for him. Why couldn't she have made a position where he could
Why she can't do that?
give him what he didn't have instead of giving him back to the fucking guy who owned him? That's
Right.
Well, that would be
It
great
sound-
for him, except the guy had mentioned that he wasn't the only one. That there was a bunch of other people outside that wanted this shit too.
jobs for all of them.
You know what I have to say to all this? Welcome to Obama's Westeros. Okay.
Thanks, Obama.
I say this in a couple of videos too. Like when people who have been enslaved for so long, just like he was, they lack purpose, and the older generation cannot really adjust to this new generation where everyone's free. So it seems natural too, where the old life wants to go back, where the old people want to go back to the old life of living. So it was kind of sad, but also made perfect sense because he lacked so much purpose in his life. It's like, yeah, I won't be a slave again, but yeah, I like.
Because honestly, it's like, I mean, what the fuck is he supposed to do? He's like, go back and get some skill training and start a whole new life. It's like, motherfucker's probably going to be dead. It's like, she gonna put him on a year contract. Motherfucker probably be dead in 6 months.
Right, and because the young people are harassing him too, so that's really fucked up as well.
Yes.
Can I propose this? If there's all of these people who are now disenfranchised, they don't have purpose, isn't that a market? Or isn't that at least, shouldn't she create jobs for all these people? Because for each person, each teacher, each craftsman who's out of a job, there's got to be somebody who's learning from him or buying his crafts. So it's creating a microeconomy.
Yeah, and that was just the thing is looking at his particular situation specifically, which of course there's a lot more, but that's the only one we really saw. Is you end up having basically these I guess hostels for these slaves that don't have a place to go, like, and they're saying, yeah, the young are beating up on the poor or whatever. They put in a fucking guard. They put in a fucking person that's kind of in charge and like an elected official of some sort. Right. Same way she did her fucking army with Wormtail or whatever his fucking name is.
Grey Worm.
A Grey Worm. I don't watch a lot of Harry Potter. If she had done that, here and basically elected an official there, that official could have been like, okay, you know what? These are going to be the teachers. These are going to be the doctors. These are going to be etc. And just fucking set up a hierarchy within that hostel.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like the old dude is like still would not be living the life that he wanted to live.
Yeah.
It's like he wanted very specifically his old life back.
Yeah, because he had purpose. He
said baby. You can have a similar life. You can have a similar life without being owned.
Well, yeah. Why would he want a similar life? It's like he didn't want a similar life. He wanted his life back. The life that he had that was taken away from him. He wanted that life back.
Because I was just gonna
say. This is some white people shit. That's what this is. This is y'all's fucking white people thing. We all come in. Here I come to save the day. My way is redder than your way.
Are you gonna say Mighty Mouse?
Yes.
Your way that you're speaking of right now may help you, but it does not help the actual like society in general. Him going back to his old fucking slave masters, that's going to make it okay for other people to go back to their fucking slave masters, and they're going to think that that's the way it is.
Right, whereas if he accepts a new life and just deals with
he can't.
He doesn't need to. It's like, the solution here is somewhere in the middle. It's like,
right. It's great.
Y'all are going in extremes. This one guy wants his old life back. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to want their old life back. He wants his old life back. Let him have his own life. And yes, go ahead and create this hierarchy and do all this other shit that y'all were talking about. It's like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if he wants his old life back, you can't force him to be like, well, no, you can't have your old life back. You will take this new life we're giving you, and you will like it. It's like, dude, this is the only life he's ever known. You can't fucking ask an 80-year-old dude to stop living the only life he's ever known.
Yeah, because
you can ask. Maybe you can't force, but you can ask.
But it could be
let him know, you know
okay,
what?
You can ask. He said no.
Okay, we should really move on from this topic now.
That's because he wasn't given any other choice. It was living this fucking thing, or else, or nothing else. So he's all like, I don't want to fucking do that. If he had been given a third choice of continuing his job, of doing what he was doing, then maybe he would have chosen that. I know I would in that case.
But it's kind of more difficult, though, because he would know that it's not his real life, though. He wants to go back to pretty much what he knows, the basics of everything else. His master pretty much gave him a schedule and everything else around his whole his own living. And if you do give him like a substitute, like a third option, he will always know, like, yeah, this ain't right for me. I want to go back to being a slave, because he had that purpose. He knows what he's doing. Just starting all over, just starting where he had before, it won't work for him. He must go back to where he came from. In a sense,
this is definitely another topic. I'm going to send this out to the community because we need to move on. We got like 20 minutes left. But it's like you guys have heard the debate. What's your thoughts on it? Put it in the comments. Because we've seriously been arguing about this for 10 minutes.
God's got to watch 24. I mean, Charles Whedon's got to watch 24. Touch myself while looking at Princess Pony.
It's like another part of the scene is like, before we go ahead and cross the narrow sea back to Westeros again, is that Daenerys also got some very upsetting news about one of her 3 dragons.
The black one.
That one of her dragons is responsible for
black
that.
one.
Yeah, the black one. Blame the black guy.
Why do we have to blame the black one?
Because he's a troublemaker. Always starting fires and everything, eating up people's food, eating up all the hog feed and everything else. Like, come on, man.
We were done with the racist portion of this particular hangout, but apparently not.
I told you for now.
Eating up all the pig feet. I want some pig feet. What's up, man? Eating up all the food in the refrigerator.
Okay, let's go back.
Not gonna identify that with a response anyway. So it's like we had Daenerys pretty much make the very, very difficult for her choice to chain her dragons up in the catacombs.
Yeah.
In the city. It's like, and that was actually a pretty emotional scene, because you could see, is like, I mean, how difficult that was for her to do. It's like, particularly after what you just had to do. A couple episodes ago, she gave up her oldest friend and advisor, Jorah.
Right.
And now the Mother of Dragons is essentially, for all intents and purposes, losing her dragons.
Well, she had no choice, though, because her dragons are pretty much uncontrollable at this time, because they're killing the people, they're killing her own people, destroying the lands. Like, I got no choice. And she has to find that black one, because that black one's even more dangerous. Those two were they're dangerous, but the black one's more aggressive, he's more vicious. So she has to find him.
And that's just it, as I noticed that room only had 2 fucking chains.
Right. So she has to kill that one then.
I don't know about that, but I mean, she's definitely gonna find another fucking chain. That's for damn sure.
Well, for real.
It's down to this: like, you can chain it up or pretty much kill it. Chain it up is gonna be even harder, so let's just pretty much kill it.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that fucking dragon's not gonna walk into the room, start eating meat, see his brother and sister like chained up, and be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna just sit here and fucking continue to eat meat. He's gonna be one pissed off motherfucker.
Right, and also look on the bright side. She won't say, "Where's my dragons?" No, you locked them in the basement. Oh, never mind.
Am I the only one who wasn't affected by that scene? I found all of Daenerys, to be honest, kind of boring and lackluster in this finale, and I was more annoyed by their screeching than.
Well, that's how I feel about that character in general.
Really?
I didn't have a problem with Daenerys, but I did have a problem with that scene.
Okay, now if only one person can speak at a time, that'd be fantastic.
I was just saying that the scene didn't affect me either, even though I do like the Daenerys storyline.
It affected me because she was trying. I mean, throughout the whole series, she was trying to protect her dragons. But now you see she has to lock up her dragons to pretty much protect them and protect her own people. So she was choosing the people over her own children, and it spoke a lot of volumes for her character, because you look at her now, she's trying to grow up and become a better leader. She's throwing out the people who betray her and pretty much locking up the things that are dangerous. No, in fact, she loves them. So it was like she's becoming a real leader, becoming a real empress.
Didn't she already give up her only actual child to save her husband? Am I remembering that correctly?
I'm pretty sure that baby just died.
She didn't do that knowingly.
Oh, okay.
She was tricked into doing that.
Right.
Oh, that's right, to save the life of Khal Drogo. Yeah, the witch. Okay, that was a long time ago. It took me a second to get back there. All right, so we're gonna move on, I guess, to the Vale. We'll do that before we go ahead and hit up the events of King's Landing, because in the Vale is like, and this is kind of exciting to me, is that we kind of saw something that even from someone who's read the books was a surprise, because this shit did not happen in the books.
Oh,
at all.
That was a huge ass surprise.
Yeah, it did not happen. It's like we had Brienne, we had Lady Brienne and Podrick meeting up with Arya and the Hound, which, again, at the risk of being redundant, this shit did not happen in the books.
But damn,
that's not how the Hound died.
We discuss, because this is the one thing I wanted to really ask Knuckles today. Can we discuss what did happen? Like,
the Hound just died. That bite wound that got infected, he died from that.
Yeah, the fight that happened before actually did cause his death in the books.
But what about I don't want to say, but the imposter that she was supposed to have fought, and then what happens there because of it? And now what does this mean for the series? Are we out of bounds? Like, can anything happen now because of this?
No. I don't think you're recalling something correctly.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to refer to, because I've read that far into the books. You're remembering it wrong.
Okay, well, I'm just going off of hearsay. I'm not there yet. I'm only halfway through the first book.
The show's been pretty true to the books, pretty much up to this point, up to this episode.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, there's been a little bit of wiggle room, and there's been some characters that should have showed up that haven't yet, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But this is probably the biggest change from the books that I've seen so far. It's like, Knuckles, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say the only bigger change from the books would be that Braun training Jaime instead of Ilan Payne.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd agree with that. It's like, I kind of thought that was a little minor, but this one was, because you have characters that literally in the book have never met.
Yeah.
Oh, they never met. Wow.
Yeah, it's like, Brienne and the Hound, they've never seen each other before in the books.
Wow.
Ever, at any given point. And here in the show, we not only have them meet, but we have them have, I know earlier this season we saw a pretty damn good fight between the Mountain and Prince Oberyn. I like this fight better.
Yeah, way better. Like, wow, they were going all in. Like, god damn.
Knuckles had the post of the month, though, based on that.
He did, though! Dude, I damn near fell out my chair saw that scene. The cunt punt.
I'm going to let Isaiah say it.
It was fantastic. It's like, I mean, because it was really different time, because like in that fight, it's like Brienne hella just held back and fucking punched the Hound in the balls as hard as she could.
The shit out of him. Like, boom, boom.
So it was like,
and then the Hound kicked her in the vag.
Yep. I mean, just hard as hell too. It's just all four. The came up with
in the taco.
Oh man, it's like, I ain't even got I have a penis, not a vagina, and that shit hurt me, because that shit look hard as fuck.
Yeah, but man,
I have one of my worst memories in life. I've seen that face before. A girl kicked me in the balls. I was very young. I threw a rock at her vagina, and I saw that face, and it haunts me.
Okay.
All right, Charles.
Sorry, bros.
All right, Charles.
My name is Charles. I endorse that.
I was going to say, let it be known that Charles Whedon beats up on girls and throws rocks at their vaginas.
Charles Whedon throws rocks at little girls' vaginas.
Yeah.
This is one. I was going to say one question to the panel. Like, who's more skilled in the books and Is it the Hound or is it? I forgot. I can't say her name properly.
Brienne?
Brienne. Who's more skilled?
Brianna?
It's really hard to say.
I would have said the Hound without too much problem.
I mean, the Hound is the more vicious killer, but
Yeah,
as to being straight up a better swordsman, that's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, the Hound's been in fucking tournaments and the whole 9 yards and held his own against knights and shit.
As
it looks
Brienne-
like he can't beat with his brother.
Dolores.
yeah,
Remember back in
Brienne's done the same.
season 2 with Renly?
Yeah.
She won the Renly's tournament.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, they each have, is like, I mean, as far as being a swordsman is concerned, a very similar histories. Like, again, I will say the Hound is absolutely the more vicious killer, and he certainly enjoys killing more than Brienne, but
But she was holding back though.
you're asking, is like, I mean, who's just better skilled? And I'll put it like this: Brienne won this fight. Hound didn't.
Yeah.
She just went like, yeah, I'm stop holding back now. I'm just gonna kick that shit out of you now.
That's about all that you can say. Is like, it got to the point. Is like, I mean, I thought they were gonna get to a point where they were gonna just start taking off their own armor and beating each other with it. Because I mean, they were fucking each other up with whatever happened to be laying around. It's like, oh, I got the sword no more. It's like, well, I got this knife. Well, I got this rock.
Motherfucker. Boom.
Yeah, fuck it. Like, I got this breastplate, bitch. Bam. Go WWE on your ass.
Right, I'm at the mountain. I'm a full kiss and whoop ass on you.
Yeah, but it's like,
I
I
was
mean,
worried for both of them. Like,
Yeah, so was I.
equally.
Yeah, and it was curious because you had each of them fighting, and the really ironic thing is that they're both fighting for the same reason. Because the coolest part about this scene to me is that it finally got the Hound to admit that he was looking after Arya.
Yep.
He had been denying it all this time, and this is the first time where he straight up said, "Yes, I am looking after this girl. Anyone who wants to harm her answers to me." He straight up said it.
And she didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, she's like, okay, motherfucker.
She did not give a fuck.
Right.
And that's just it, is he could have sold Arya to anyone. I mean, fucking anyone with any power whatsoever would have given him, like, huge ass bags of gold for Arya. But he didn't. He kept trying to sell Arya to actually people who wouldn't just fucking kill her straight out, or who wouldn't use her as a political tool.
Yeah,
right.
He was trying to. It's like, I mean, he was trying to get his paper. It's like, I mean, let's not make any bones about that. But at the same time, it's like he didn't want Arya in a situation where someone would harm her. It's like, that's why he was trying to say, like, we're going to get you to family. Like, people are going to love you and take care of you and all that other shit. And hey, I get paid. Everybody wins. So fuck it. Why not?
Right. So he actually kind of grew. Arya kind of grew on him as the time has went on. Like, yeah, she's kind of growing on me. Yeah.
It's possible, given enough time, he kind of grew on her, if you get my drift.
Yeah, it's like, I'm almost sad to see this. Like, I mean, because, I mean, of course, Knuckles and I, it's like, we read the books. It was like, we kind of figured that the Hound would not survive this season, even though neither one of us had any idea how the fuck it would end up happening. It was like it was an interesting choice to have Brienne do that, but the rest of it played out pretty much how it did in the books, with the Hound requesting Arya to kill him, and Arya not doing that, leaving him to die slowly.
That was very, very powerful.
And then there was the big old fuck you by taking his money while he was still alive.
Yeah.
You killed my friend, I'm taking your money.
Yeah, it was just so cold-blooded. It's like, because you see that that the Hound is pretty much trying to piss her off,
right?
Struggling, trying to piss her off to trying to make her hate him, and Arya's just not buying it. Which I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there. Automatically puts Arya like about 100 levels up above fucking Shay, because when Tyrion did the exact same thing to her, she didn't get it.
Right.
She had no comprehension of what Tyrion was doing, and when the Hound did the same thing to Arya, she had perfect comprehension of what was going on, of what the goal here was.
Right. Well, she was smart anyway.
Just put that out there, because that just...
Shay's stupid.
Yeah.
Arya's smarter than her. So smart.
We'll get to Shay. We'll get to Shay, I'm sure.
I know, but...
Yeah, we
anyway,
will get to that.
It was, to me, I really liked that scene a lot. Like, and you can say it was kind of cold-blooded, which it was. She took his money, but it actually kind of speaks more because no fact she hates the Hound, but she also has some respect for the Hound as well. So it was like a give and take.
I don't think so. It's like, I mean,
She didn't want to kill him, but
yeah,
she wanted. Yeah.
Well, it's like if she would if let's not forget that through all this, through them growing closer and all that the Hound was still on her shit list of people to kill due to things from their history. Right. They had grown closer due to their time together, but that's not something that Arya just all of a sudden forgot.
Yeah, she's not.
So now that she's in this situation where the Hound is really no longer viable and no longer good for her, and is going to die anyway. She had a choice between giving him a clean death, which she knows that he would have wanted, even if he wasn't directly telling her that, and letting him stay out there and die alone, which would be the more brutal punishment. And Arya made a very clear decision about the fate she wanted for the Hound.
Right. It was like revenge by all means. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna let you suffer out here. Well, I take your money too. So revenge karma's a bitch.
Yeah, it was like we've had our time together, and that was what it was, but this is what it is.
Right. You still on my list, so this is how it's going to end.
Yeah, it is what it is. It sucks it had to be this way, but let's be honest, I was going to end up killing you anyway, so.
But, again, it was no words from Arya at all. Like, it was so powerful that she did not speak whatsoever. So
dude, it was cold-blooded, wasn't it? It's like, I mean, the look on her face, like, oh, Williams is turning into an amazing actress.
I know.
She's able to get off like that. It's like, I really like seeing her.
I see a bright future with her.
For shizzle dizzle. Where are we the only two talking? All the white people over here cowering in the corner and shit.
I know, right?
Yeah, this is the black version of Geeks Around.
Right, basically, right.
You gotta have some melanin skin if you want to comment and shit.
No, I completely agree, though. I really think she's a great actress, and I really like that scene.
And I'll say again, check out her vines because they're hilarious.
Yeah, it's like since last week's episode when Matt was advising that, it's like I actually have done that. Yeah, that girl ain't got no kind of sense, which is something I really like. I like people that ain't got no sense because you never know what they're gonna come up with.
What exactly is a vine? I've been hearing tweets.
Think of it as video Twitter.
Yeah, it's video Twitter.
That's what I thought it was, but is it 6 seconds?
6 seconds or less.
I thought it was 8 seconds.
No, it's 10 seconds.
No,
yeah, it's 10.
If it's 10, they moved it up to 10 because I know it started at 6.
It's whatever the fuck it is. It's some dumb fucking thing. I don't know.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
It's video Twitter, and it's really hard to sort through.
Yeah.
I'm going to show my purple testicle in 6 seconds or less. My name's Charles Whedon. Thank you very much.
Oh God! If only the real Whedon was here.
Moving on is like after this well, actually slightly even before this whole death, is like after the actual fatal blow from Brienne. We had Brienne in a situation where she's looking for Arya because she made a vow to Catelyn Stark. And it's going to get me started on another thing. I'll get to that in a minute. But she made a vow with Catelyn Stark to look out for Arya, and she's calling out for Arya now that she's defeated the Hound, and Arya's having none of it. She is making it a very specific point to hide from Brienne, which I thought was a very powerful decision on her own right, because she knows at this point that the Hound is pretty much dead. She has no one in the world really she can depend on, and here's someone here that she shares so much with. As a matter of fact, I really liked the conversation they had prior to the fighting, when they're both kind of talking to each other about the struggles of a woman warrior growing up in a man's war and all that shit. And I thought that was really cool, them connecting on that level. So to see her deny Brienne after everything was all said and done kind of showed an evolution of her character, where she's done being the sub character, being someone's sidekick, being someone's tag along, and she's ready to make her own path in the world. And I thought
like
that
was a lot. And also, You can tell from the actors on a personal level they were actually good friends. The actor who played the Hound and the actress who played Arya. You can tell they were actually good friends outside the whole show because you can just tell. You got so much energy. You got so much chemistry between the two characters. Like they must have been good friends after this because it feels like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like, I mean, when you're working with someone for so long, it's like these characters have been together for quite a significant time now. So it's like, they're filming together year after year. And when you're working that closely with someone, one of two things is going to happen: you're either going to become friends, or you're going to fucking hate each other. So
Right.
I mean, there's really no middle ground there.
Right.
I mean, it's like, look at all of us. It's like, we've been working together for so long, and it's like, and say that we're going to be friends, or I'm going to hate all y'all. So pretty much,
Fuck you, Deanno. Fuck you.
I was waiting for someone to say that shit.
At least you're not like the Kill Bill ladies who actually do hate each other. Like, yeah, they kind of do hate each other.
Deanno, just for that shit, you're only invited to come over and drink with me no more than 2 nights a week, okay?
Damn it.
Because of that shit.
You guys won't remember 2 nights. You'd be like, oh man, it's 5 nights. Oh shit, that was 2 nights.
No, actually, right now, basically at the end of every show that we do, every Monday night show, he's been coming over. But he brought me beer the other day. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, it's like, hey, I heard a beer emergency and I delivered. It's like, I don't even know why you only asked for 1 beer. I was like, hey, don't just drink 1 beer. Let me get this motherfucker too.
I went to work the next day. I can't believe I fucking made it to work the next day.
Wow.
That has nothing to do with the show, though.
Yeah, you should
That's a
probably
survival
repost that shit.
story, if anything.
But after this, it's like we see we see Arya boarding a ship on her way to Bravos, using the coin she got. What was that? Was that last season? Or,
No, like 2 seasons ago. That was from the fucking anonymous guy.
That was from Harnhole.
yeah. Yeah, so that was like, was that season 2 or 3?
2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, see, it's like
Like
it's
fucking
so hard to
forever
track
ago, and she still has that fucking coin.
Right.
It was definitely season 2.
Wow.
So basically, she's on her way to Bravos, and I'm just gonna say it as like spoiler alert or whatever. She's on her way to train to be an assassin. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, it's gonna be so
She's
badass. Oh god.
She's about to become a train.
Is it a spoiler to ask, can a person be turned into a shapeshifter? Is that a spoiler to ask?
I don't know.
No, because
It's not a matter of
I don't know.
shape-shifting. It's a matter of learning a certain magical ability.
Oh, okay.
Magical abilities can be taught. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, yeah, right. So that's not a spoiler. That's like speculation. Okay.
Yeah, pure speculation.
I'm disappointed in how she dealt with the Hound. As I'm opposing to you guys, I actually didn't. I wish she would have given some mercy. But I'm so interested in what's happening next. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd be funny if, like, 2 seasons from now, the Hound comes back and starts killing motherfuckers, and you come to find out later on it's Arya.
The Hound. So it should be like what, the Chihuahua?
No, it'd be a full-size Hound, but it'd just be, Arya fucking with people.
Okay, fair enough.
Interesting.
All right, let's go ahead and get to the events of King's Landing. It's like, because I want to end this thing. We're already over time, and that's okay. It's like, as long as we end it in the next 15 minutes. It's like, because a lot happened during this episode, and it's okay that we're going long. As long as we're not over an hour 20, I'm happy. But, King's Landing. Shit is going down.
Right.
Did something happen in King's Landing in this episode? I must have missed it.
All hell broke loose.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, at first, like, we have the aftermath of the fight between the Mountain and the Viper, where it's like, oh, look, the Mountain's kind of dying. It's like, for all those that were, a couple weeks ago saying, oh, well, this should have been a tie because, they both died. Well, as you can see, no, they did not. The Mountain was still alive.
And why the fuck does she care?
Right.
Why the fuck does Cersei care whether or not the Mountain is dead or alive?
Because he's a
he
useful tool.
kills motherfuckers that she wants dead.
Yeah, that's not hard to figure out.
So
I mean, that's why it's like when that other dude is coming by and saying it's like, oh yeah, I can totally save him, and her only question is, and when she says, you know, when he tells her that there might be some changes, her only question is, will he still be strong? Yep. Well, okay then, have at it. That's what she cares about. She doesn't give a flying fuck about the mountain.
I can't believe I fucking missed that. I swear that's been my biggest question all week. No, I think 2 weeks now, right? And I missed that.
You missed what?
Her talking about the mountain.
it was very brief. It was very
It happened
brief.
yesterday, so there's that.
Stop falling asleep while watching the show.
Yes, we didn't stop zoning out.
I got DVD.
You're pretty well known for that. Is zoning out in the hangouts and on the shows.
Yeah.
Right, and now this bit is funny. Is like when she kind of goes toe to toe with her father,
Oh
and is
God.
pretty adamant about this whole not marrying what the fuck's his name?
Loris.
Loris
something
thing.
other.
And
It pretty much goes, I'm fucking my brother.
Yeah. It's all true, motherfucker.
Like, how do you not know this? You are a fucking idiot. I'm fucking my brother.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it except you.
yeah, seriously, seriously. Dad, everybody in Westeros, not everyone in King's Landing, not everyone's everybody in Westeros, motherfuckers are talking about this on the wall, and you
Right.
don't know this.
It's like, wow, the smartest man is like
Yes,
he's most
I
stupid.
totally ride my brother's dick, and I like it.
Yeah, he had a child too, who was Joffrey. Fuck
All of our
you.
kids, yeah, those are all Jamie's. It's still Tyler. I don't believe you. It's just like a bullshit, motherfucker. Yeah, you do.
Holy motherfucker.
It's like, people have told you this information many, many times.
Even that old lady says like, yeah, I know about your children fucking each other.
So-
That ain't true.
Anyway, Matt, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, like you've actually been told this many, many times by many, many people, and you still choose to ignore that it's true,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
despite the fact that it's very obvious just by the fucking hair color of the of Joffrey and Tommen.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's like he was so far up denial's ass. Like, wow, you're so in denial.
I actually like that phrase. Up denials, so far up denial's ass.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate, actually. It's extraordinarily accurate. Because it's like, I mean, it wasn't the fact that he didn't know. It was like, I mean, of course he knew. It's like, you say a lot of things about Tywin Lannister. That he's an idiot is not one of them.
No,
Of
Yeah.
course he knew.
he's
He just
smart.
refused to believe it. It's like, it's just, la 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 la.
Right.
Remember, denial is not just a river in Westeros.
It's like, wow, dude, you must be so. Wow. I feel sorry for you, dude. Your own loins are having sex with themselves.
Uh-huh.
And that's just it. Is that was something I was thinking about earlier? Is while she's fucking explaining this to him, I was thinking, like, in our society, in our like actual real world society, that's a sick ass fucking thing. That's fucking disgusting. Like, however, in Westeros, it's almost a normal thing, especially with royalty.
Well, no, it's like I think what you're doing is you're taking your knowledge of actual medieval history and applying it to Westeros. It's like, I mean, because what? Okay, it's a common thing. What other fucking siblings in the entirety of Westeros?
The
are fucking each
Targaryens.
I was just about to say that.
other? The Targaryens don't count
Yeah,
Why
they
don't
do.
they count?
because they're not
They're,
active right now.
they're the most prolific family in all of Westeros. I think they count.
They're the most prolific family once upon a time in Westeros.
Like 10 years ago.
Once upon a time, like not during the course of the show.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, let's look at the fucking Tullys, or is it the Tullys? Caitlyn's old family before she became a Stark.
Uh-huh.
Like, that fucking woman had her son sucking on her tit when he was like 10.
But she wasn't fucking him. There's a subtle difference.
We don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure that's the next fucking step.
Yeah.
Okay, you're making a presumption and assuming it to be fact.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
Yeah. See, that's your only defense at this point, Matt. Are you gonna say it? Are you gonna say it? Come on.
Hell no.
That's your only defense at this point, Matt. Come on, say it. That's the only thing you got going.
I'm on Matt's side with this. I think that the Targaryens absolutely do count. In fact, we saw some of it in season 1. We saw some of it in season
even
1.
though we haven't seen it happen with other royal families yet, that it does happen.
Hey, like I
Okay,
said
then it's
before,
like-
folks,
then-
you
then
never
my
know.
argument becomes, okay. It's like if it's supposedly not such a big deal, it's like why is it? It's like I mean it's fairly well known, whispered on the tables and whatnot. But it's like in all the other royalties and whatnot, it's Targaryens. It's like since y'all want to use the Targaryens, let's go with it. The Targaryens weren't hiding what they were doing.
Right.
It wasn't even a slight secret.
And people still look down on that too, because when people hear like, oh, they had sex with their siblings, and then people still look down on that. Like, hey, my son might be gay, but he's not sleeping with his sister. Like, oh.
I don't even think that part of it is the big deal. I think the big part of that being a big deal is that they're not royalty because they were supposed to be Robert Baratheon's children,
Yeah.
not Jaime
Right.
Lannister. So it's all about a royalty right to sit on the throne thing, not about the sister fucking.
Damn it, now I'm confused. Because you see, I was just about to say Diano sold me because I was gonna say Targaryen at first, and that was my argument. But you guys were already doing it, so fuck it. But then he said fuck. He said something about scandal. Basically, it made me think it's not necessarily the sister fucking, but it's the scandal of the sister fucking. You know? But now when you said Knuckles, you just confused me now.
Well,
Oh my God.
Confusing you doesn't seem necessarily hard.
You're like
The-
Joe Dirt over
the
here.
sister fucking, while not probably positively looked upon, it could have been anyone that fathered those children except for Robert, and still the same problem.
Right, I throw this.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what the big issue is, not so much the sister fucking.
Yeah, it's like I mean that's a legitimate point because like I mean the rights to the throne is an extraordinarily big deal. It's
Right.
like and that I can understand, but still it's like I don't see that sibling fucking that this level of incest is common enough among anyone in here. It's like I mean we've pointed out okay 2 separate families out of how many we have going on here, huh?
3.
3. There's been Targaryen, and I'm still not counting Tully because you have yet to prove anything.
You forget one person.
No. There's what's his fucking name? The dude who fucked all his daughters.
Craster?
Craster.
That doesn't really count.
That dude totally doesn't count, man. That dude
Yeah.
was just a pervert, dude.
And those were his daughters, not his sisters.
Right.
Well, it's like,
that
even
makes
if
it
it
so
wasn't
much
sisters, even if it wasn't sisters, that dude still totally doesn't count. It's like I mean, that dude is above the wall, and every single person that met him thought what he was doing was disgusting. That's why Craster's Keep is no longer Craster's Keep. It's now like a big pile of fucking burnt wood. That's
Hey.
the whole reason that shit
You're
happened.
forgetting one person though. You're forgetting one person. Joe Dirt.
All right, so
Anyway,
in any case, I'm just ignoring what he said. You were saying that there were only 2 families that did it, and I just wanted to mention that there is a third. While yes, in his case, because it was his daughters, that was so much worse. However, I was just mentioning that there was at least 3 families that are doing that.
okay, but it's like okay, good. It's like if you want to include them, I'll put it like this. It's like y'all want to say it was accepted practice. It's like in that case, very obviously, it was not an accepted practice.
Yeah, but that was his daughters. That was in many cases that it was.
Then why bring it into the argument? It's not helping
Because you said that there were only 2 cases. And
I said there were only 2 cases of families
Okay,
where
we
siblings
should
were
move
having
on
sex
now.
with each other. That
Seriously.
still remains true because those weren't siblings.
We should move on now.
Yeah, we probably should move
Talking
on.
about the sister fucking. We need to stop.
Isaiah's got his X-Men balls on right now.
I know it's anti. I can't say the stupid middle part.
Okay, so let's go in and get to the real shit here. It's like because we're going to talk about that, and we got another couple other things to talk about before we bring this shit to a close. We have pretty much Tyrion on the eve of his execution for the soul killing Joffrey thing, which he had honestly nothing to do with. Although at this point, I'm sure he wishes he did.
Right.
Finally, having an escape route, Jaime to the rescue, and he kind of takes a detour after that.
Yep. Wow.
Well,
Knuckles, I know what you're going to want to say, and I want to say it too. So let's just get into it.
No, I'll let you do the honors.
Well, it's like one of the problems that I had with the scene is that something very important that was supposed to happen didn't happen, because it's like in the books at this point, Jaime makes a kind of a final confession to Tyrion
Oh
right
yeah.
before he goes through the door of something that happened in the past. It's like namely, it's like this was mentioned back in I think season 1. The woman that he used to like that was supposed to be a prostitute, and then Tywin found out and paid a bunch of men to have sex with her and blah 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 'cause she was a prostitute. Well, that's not really the case. She wasn't really a prostitute. She really honestly did love him. And in the books, it was pretty much that confession that kind of drove him to confront his father for one final time. And you got that from the books. It's like, and now here in the show is like, I mean, Knuckles, you would kind of know about this. I didn't feel that same draw for Tyrion to go and have that confrontation with his father without that final confession. It's like, is there something I'm missing, or
No,
that's what I felt.
I kind of agree with that, but then again, I wasn't really going to bring it up just because I thought they might change it and might mention it later or something. But it's definitely more of a reason for him to have gone and do that.
But I like how they
pissed off at Tywin.
Yeah, but I like that they changed it. I like that they changed it because I haven't read the books myself, and I didn't know Tyrion had another wife. I had to look that up myself. So
it was very specifically mentioned in season 1, and it wasn't a wife. It was just someone that he was interested in. It was very specifically mentioned.
And that's fair too. That's very, very fair. But I think some viewers, well, in my case, me, will feel like we won't remember that. Like, oh, okay, ain't gonna be no difference. So it just took some parts of that out, and I was okay with that, not knowing when they took that part out, because it wouldn't really affect me that much, because that alone, like, you have to think about Tywin took like pretty much everything from Tyrion, a lot of things, more than his own.
Yeah, but this would have been a case of him taking even more. It's like, I mean, so there was something that was taken from him even before all of this that would have spawned all that. It's like, and also it's like, as far as Tyrion's aspect, it's like, as far as it affecting, the viewer or whatnot, it would have affected you as well, because it would have made you further understand Tyrion's motivations, that even his own brother, the only family that he had that he thought he could rely on, has actually been lying to him for years about this situation. And it's like, I feel that it would have furthered his motivations to do what he did.
I mean, you could be. That sounds very awesome in storytelling, but we had really nice of those two brothers actually coming together and like brotherly love, and that was actually one of the most powerful moments in the whole show itself. It was like, wow, that's really powerful, because we never saw Lannister people actually care for one another that much, besides Jaime and other, and that's not going to count anyways because that's too much. I'm talking about like on a sibling level. Like, it was very good siblings. So,
yeah, my thought on I can see it that way as well.
My thought on that is, as a sane person who hasn't read the books, is that I'm sorry, Isaiah. My thought on it is that when Tyrion was let go, what we saw in the show would lead me to believe that he would not have gone to Tywin's chambers. He would have fucking gone to Cersei's chambers. Like, one of his last impressions of Cersei, at least one of the lasting impressions, would be that while he was in his fucking crib, she was pinching his dick.
Good point.
That's kind of something that you would stick around in your head of, you know what, this woman is an evil fucking woman, and she's always been evil.
But in all fairness, though, who made her an evil person?
She was a little kid when that happened.
Yeah, but she was really an evil person as her own right. But again, Tywin didn't really stop her. He just let her keep going as a torture towards him, and he just pretty much he just didn't love him. He's all like, you're not. He knew that his father hated him because of what he is. So he knew that as well. And plus, he knew he was innocent from Joffrey's killing, and he was still going to send him to death. So everything else is involved in a big snowball effect of him just pretty much. He took so much shit from him. He's just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Well, before I leave, I'm doing something I never done before, and this is how we get into here.
Yeah, if I were him, and I probably would have died doing it, but I think I might have taken them both out.
Yeah, that would have been a better option. My girlfriend and I thought it was Cersei when he was going in, when they saw the girl on the bed.
Yeah.
I expected it. We both expected it to be Cersei. It would have made the most. That's the one that, if I were Tyrion, I'd want to fucking kill her first. I'd kill them all, though, now that you mention it. Perfectly.
I think the betrayal from Shay was
More powerful.
better than if that was Cersei.
Yeah,
Right.
but he didn't know about the betrayal until he got there.
Right. And that's what made it so.
But that was still perfect, though. That was more better than his own sister betraying him the most. It was actually the one he actually loved and cared about the most, and he tried to protect her. But that put an egg on his face. Like, wow.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, not only did she betray everything, I mean, just every single aspect of them, but then he finds her in bed with his father, who is the only person who, in his mind, has betrayed him any harder than she has. It's like, I mean, that's just deep.
That hurt
And
me.
that's a fucked up thing is he wasn't letting him date Shay because Shay was a whore. He's all like, yeah, you can't have sex with this whore anymore or any whores. And then what's he go do? He goes and fucks the whore.
And plus Shay calls she was calling Tywin her lion. Like, really, bitch? Really? Sorry for women out there, but that was just a bitch move. It's like, wow, really? Really?
I really liked the character Shay, especially like near the beginning of the season. And then just as the season went on, she got more and more annoying until like I was happy to see her go.
Yeah, same here. It's like, you know what? Fuck her. Kill her. I don't care.
Yeah.
I heard the show's version of Shay was more the actress's choice, Knuckles and whoever else read. Is that true? Is there like a difference you can see having been made?
It's not a matter of being the actress' choice. I think they kind of made the change to the character because they like the actress. I think Knuckles and I will both agree that the Shay in the show and the Shay in the books are two entirely different creatures.
How so?
I don't agree with that. I think they played that the same.
I don't think so. It's like
What
Shay,
was different in the books?
because the Shay in the books did not love Tyrion.
Oh.
That's what I heard. That she was cold and she was playing him all along, and I heard it was obvious.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
Oh.
That's fair enough, but it's like
From what I remember reading, I thought it played out the exact same way it did on the show.
yeah, there's no way I can agree with that, man. I can't even agree with that.
Candle.
The only difference is that in the trial, she made fun of him a lot more.
Yeah.
Books, but that's it.
Well, yeah, it's like, I mean, she certainly did. She certainly did. It's like, I mean, because that was her true nature coming through. It's like, I mean, she was good at what she did, and it's like, and while she was Tyrion, she did everything that he would have possibly wanted of her. But in the books, it's like, no, Shay did not love Tyrion.
There's too many.
You know what? I can confirm that actually Diano's correct, even though I didn't read, because the quote I read was today, and it was from George R.R. Martin. And the reason why I remember that is because he said that she was playing, and I thought it was creepy he said it, that she was playing his teenage fantasy, and she was playing him all along. I'll look in my history. I can actually probably link. I haven't been many places. I've been out all day.
But it was just so. I just felt so disgusted by seeing her. Like, wow.
I don't agree with that because she risked her life in the books and in the show by sticking around, and there was like nothing to gain from that.
Yeah, that is true. Is because I mean he totally offered her money to leave, and she's all like, "Fuck that shit."
True. That could be HBO's fault, though. I can't wait to get to this part of the book.
Oh. What else we got?
Well, we went Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, well, he strangles that bitch, and then he comes upon Tywin on the privy.
Yep. Like, have these guys been watching Pulp Fiction? Is it just me? It must be me.
Must be you. Okay. But yeah, and of course, Tywin kind of, he doesn't beg for his life. Like, he doesn't even try and beg for his life. But he does try and manipulate Tyrion.
Yeah, he wasn't falling for it.
But yeah, exactly. And Tyrion was having none of that shit.
Yeah, he knew his father was he knew his father was conniving and persuasive. Like, no, dude, you already broke my spirit already. So there's nothing you can really tell me.
Exactly, and that's just it. Is Tywin was saying shit that Tyrion knew wasn't true. Tywin was saying, you know what, I wasn't really gonna kill you. I wasn't you are my brother, or sorry, you are my son. You are a Lannister. And Tyrion's all like, dude, like for the past 35 fucking years, you've been saying the opposite of that shit, and you want me to believe it now? Fuck you.
Like, I killed Shay. Who? That whore? And he said, say that word again. What word?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, what is he expecting Tyrion to do at that point?
It's like you just saw a look in his eyes, like he says, I'm done. I'm just done doing for you, man. You already destroyed my life already.
Yeah, it's like, at least you see, it's like, I mean, Tyrion is a man of his word. He said, it's like, hey, say whore again, see what happens. And,
Again,
sure
Pulp
enough,
Fiction. Like, oh god.
what it is what it is.
I mean, that was more. I mean, that whole scene was just so more satisfying than Joffrey's own demise. Like, yeah, Joffrey was a little asshole, but Tywin, he was that guy who's been begging for it. He was just the guy who's been begging for just to die. Like, dude, you just need to die so bad. So this was just masterful.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's funny, it's like leaping out after that, freaking Varys is like, wait a second, what the fuck did you do? And it's like, and at first it's like well, when you know, he has Tyrion in the box and he has Tyrion boarding the ship, it's like, okay, everything's gonna be cool, everything's gonna be cool. All of a sudden those bells start ringing, and even Varys knows at this point, shit is too fucked up.
Yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, fuck this shit. It's like, I'm with you, homie. Because even without knowing that Tyrion did, he has an innate understanding that what Tyrion did is entirely too fucked up, and that no one that had anything to do with this is walking away.
Yes, it's like whoever knows Tyrion are all gonna die.
Pretty much. It's like Jaime will get a pass because he's Jaime, but that pass ain't gonna apply to Varys. Varys like, I'm getting the fuck out.
You're gonna kill that spider. Like, okay, I'm gonna get my bald ass out of here, and I'll be on that ship. See ya.
And that's a question: is with Tywin gone, like who the fuck is gonna run the kingdom? Because it sure the hell ain't Tommen.
Cersei.
Cersei's a woman.
The Queen Regent. Huh?
Oh, Lord.
She can't be the head of the fucking council. She's a female. They're not gonna let that shit go down.
She's very powerful.
Yeah, she can't be the head of the small council, but she is the Queen Regent. And
yeah.
That does still have some draw. It's like it's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how it plays out, because one thing that Cersei was saying that she was kind of right about is that when it comes to her son, it was pretty much going to be Marjorie on one side and Tywin on the other. You know, both getting in his ear. Now that Tywin's no longer in play, it's pretty much Marjorie's show to run.
Right.
Well, if they get married, it's Marjorie's show to run.
There's no reason why they can't get married. It's like, I mean, because the Queen Regent is the Queen Regent, but it's like she has actually no real power.
Yeah, but the second he gets married, she's no longer the Queen Regent.
That's not true.
Once fucking Joffrey got married, she wasn't the Queen Regent for that day.
Yeah.
Like they straight out said that she was no longer the Queen Regent.
Regent since Tywin was came into the picture.
Wait, what?
The regent is whoever is running shit, and that was Tywin.
That is true.
No, Tywin was the hand. Queen Regent's an entirely different thing. Queen Regent is pretty much meant freaking mother of the king.
Is it safe to say that King's Landing or King's Landing pretty much has no leader at the time moment? Like no one can't really rule nothing.
It's like the King Tommen is the king of Westeros. There, he sits on the Iron Throne.
But Tommen's not. Again, he's not ready. Like you guys said, he's not ready. He's not skilled. He's just a boy.
You're all right. He's not ready. He's just a boy. That doesn't change the fact that he's the king.
That's
Yeah,
good. But
he's still in charge. He just hasn't consolidated his power.
Whoever controls Tommen pretty much controls the kingdom. So he's pretty much.
And that's what I think is going to happen. Is I think it's going to be Cersei versus Marjorie, and Marjorie's not going to have the advantage of being married to Tommen because I don't know that Cersei's going to let that happen.
I think she might let that happen.
I don't know. Marjorie does have certain advantages.
Because the Lancers are pretty much broke because we heard that from last time because they run out of money, so they need a force that actually can sustain their income. So they need to merge a couple kingdoms together just to get that money. So yeah.
What else we got?
That's actually about it. At this point,
but that's not it.
At this point, there's one kind of disappointment that I had, going into this episode. I'm not gonna say what it is because I do think it's fairly spoilerific, and if y'all viewers search around the internet, y'all probably figure out what I'm talking about. There's one major character that I was really, really, really expected to see that I did not see, and that was kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. Wild speculation for season 5. Go with it.
Okay, for season 5, Bran, wherever his name is, Cripple Boy, he's gonna control that black dragon and take over King's Landing.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I like that idea. I don't know that it's going to happen, but that would be awesome if it did.
He has a war again. That thing told him he was going to fly. So.
See? And plus the Black Dragon's on the loose.
I don't think it's happening anytime soon, though.
Yeah. And also we might get a reunion with the Stark family, but I highly doubt that too. Like, we're not getting no reunion.
There's no way we can have a reunion.
They can always make it up. It's like, oh, they get a reunion. Yay! Oh, we're not going to get a reunion? I want a reunion.
What? Yeah, I don't know. The only possible reunion, at least for a while, is if Sansa decides to leave the fucking castle, which would be stupid. Or Jon decides to leave his castle, which would be stupid. And then they meet up. Because fucking Arya is on another fucking... Yeah, that princess is in another fucking castle. In another fucking world.
Am I stupid? Did we not mention? Actually, I just realized no Sansa at all. No Littlefinger. The last we saw was that
their arc was pretty much done for that season.
Yeah, they took control of the Vale.
Yeah, the arc is done.
I mean, that's what it sort of implies, that she comes out as a badass, they're solidified. But I just now realized we actually didn't get nothing on that one.
Her arc was already done. He's like, for the time being, for this season, like there was nothing else you could really tell.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see as to whether we'll see that character who I wanted to see or not. It's like I suppose that's something we'll have to see in season 5, and Geeks will be back for that. For the time being, we are officially done with all TV discussions until later on this fall, where we're going to have some crazy shit for y'all. It's like, we're going to have, Arrow, Walking Dead,
Constantine.
All the shows. Just all the shows.
Oh, yeah, all the geek shows. We're going to have all sorts of shit, but for now, we're going to be on hiatus. Of course, you can always catch the Conclave. It runs every week-ish on Sunday-ish. And that'll be on youtube.com/geeksaround. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know.
We're revamping it, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. If we have large topics like we've been having, we're going to do it on those. But for the most part, on the weeks where we don't, we're just going to have general discussion.
Yeah, see what he said. He's the Conclave is his thing. It's like I stay out of that as much as keep my fingers out because I'll fuck it all up. But it's like, you'll see that weekly, and then it's like, of course, we'll restart our TV show discussions later on this fall. This has been a lot of fun. Again, like, comment, subscribe, youtube.com/geeksaround. If you have anything for us, you can always email us, geeksaround@gmail.com. We also invite you to join the Geeks Around community. You'll find the link for that down below in the description for this video. We invite you to join because we be having all sorts of fun up in there, like including organizing things as far as the gaming highlights. For instance, we've been recently playing the Destiny Alpha on PS4. Boss! Yep. My name is Deanna Jackson. We'll see you next time.